What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Lanzeral back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be checking out some brand new gameplay trailer that recently dropped for Phantom Blade Zero. That is right, Phantom Blade Zero, the upcoming hack and slash adventure game from Studio S Game, has finally gotten some brand new gameplay. Now, if you've never heard of Phantom Blade Zero before, this is another AAA title coming out of a Chinese studio, this time with Studio S Game, and it was originally revealed back in 2023. And ever since then, we've had a couple of trailers here and there, but nothing usually too long. But from the gameplay that we've seen in these trailers, it's gotten the internet talking, and for a lot of people, they feel like it looks too good to be true, almost to the point that it looks like it's more cinematic rather than actual gameplay. But it looks like recently they dropped some lengthy gameplay, and from what I understand, this is about 20 minutes worth of gameplay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check this trailer out together. Oh, so this just jumps right into gameplay. Okay. I'm seeing like 4 weapons at the bottom right of the screen right now. Pull out the axe. One-handed sword. I was about to say, is that enemy actually still alive? Even after being impaled by his own weapon. I do love me games that have execution. It just makes it so much more fun. Harkering back to the age of Ninja Gaiden. Are these... Yeah? I think these are the... So you literally... Damn! 4 weapons at a time. I'm trying to think, even on a game like Ninja Gaiden, usually you only really have your main weapon equipped. Granted, you have a ton of other weapons you can switch to. I'm trying to think of if maybe there's like one Ninja Gaiden that I played where you at least had 2 weapons that you could switch between at a time.
It's nothing short of a miracle. They say there are even more miracles. The training ground. The training ground. Can't get in now. The gate's locked. And Alkane has the key. Okay. I wonder what his deal is. Whatever it is, the 7 stars are way out of our league.
Oh, shit! I was like, wait, why is there a quick time after you already executed the guy? To do a double execution. Fire. That shit's cool. So he still has a bunch of health, which means, quite literally, he pulls the weapon out of himself and he can still keep attacking you. That's cool. That's fire as fuck. I'm assuming that was just because he was close to the ball. A little weird, though. Felt like a vignette happening. Now, this game was reviewed in 2023. But from everything that I'm seeing, I want to believe this game is so far along that there's probably a chance we might see this get released in 2026, maybe? That's kind of what I'm hoping for at the very least. No way in hell that we're getting this 2025. So I'm hoping, at the very least, we potentially get this in 2026 instead. And it's something that I don't think we've ever actually had this addressed yet, is whether or not the game is going to be more instance-based, so similar to, probably say like recently, like First Berserker Katan or even Black Myth Wukong, where it's very linear in the sense that it's area by area, but the areas tend to be kind of large to some degree. I highly doubt this is going to be open. Highly doubt it. That poor guy over there just throwing a rock. He's doing his best. And script walking the fucking lion head. Boink! Killed the poor guy with this. He was just doing his best with the little stones he had. Leave him alone. Man, got a lot of health there. Poor guy. So supposedly there are people who've actually had an opportunity to play this game. From what I understand, usually though, it's been at things like the conference that I believe is called the China Joy. Something along those lines. So some folks have actually had the ability to have hands-on experience with the game, and from what they've said, it plays really well. For as fast-paced and hectic as the combat may seem, it honestly flows really, really well according to them. That parry just seems so... I mean, either whoever is playing is either really, really good or... God damn! What the fuck? Gosh. Just fucking impaled that motherfucker from head to butt and tossed him. Watch, there are gonna be people out there who are still gonna say this game is Souls-like. Despite how fast-paced the combat is and the fact that you got 4 weapons you can swap between at a time, still gonna be called a Souls-like. Weapons? Either is that, I don't know if it's that weapon in particular or if other weapons do it too, but I noticed that when he blocked a couple of times, he used a special, and now it's back to normal. So there's a game that recently dropped called Wu-Tang called Chip Feathers. And in that game, whenever you perfect dodge, you build a resource that you are then able to use to basically cast special abilities for the weapons that you have. Once you use it, you basically have to build it back up again. I'm wondering if there's a similar mechanic in here, except rather than dodging, it looks like maybe blocking. But it's also possible that dodging applies for that. God, that shit is diabolical. That is such an evil finisher. Off with his head. Huh? So, I'm noticing when he blocks, it doesn't look like there's any particular resource being used. But I have a feeling that in a game like this, they're probably not going to just let you block it. But attacking doesn't use any stamina, so that's fantastic. Doesn't seem like there's a stamina system in the game. So the bar underneath your health, I'm assuming it looks like it's being used for abilities to some degree. Yeah, it seems like it's used more so for your abilities. So think of it more like a mana. Big butt. And ball. I don't know why. I feel like I saw something that my eyes should not have seen. I sure hope you got some underwear under there, because I saw some that I have questions about. Soldiers there and Master War Machine, you lied to me. you got his weapon. I mean, he's swinging around a great axe, so can't be any more heavy than that. Actually, probably can't. Let's see if it scales down to size. But that shit was bigger than him when the boss was using it. I feel like that bitch is damn near still. It's basically still bigger than him, though. Man. I mean, that's one way to put it. But you can go far with that execution. That's alright. That's cool. I like that. So far, I've seen them utilizing the weapons, you know, in various ways. But what I feel like I haven't seen yet is the ability to kind of seamlessly switch between weapons. So say you're mid-combo using the great axe, and at some point in your combo, you're actually able to switch to the single-hand sword. And it just flows seamlessly.
That's a surprise!
I don't know if I'd say he's normal, but
Do you know how to get into the training ground? So, you're here to die too. Suit yourself then. Take the path on that side, beyond the pigeon loft, and the skywalk along the cliff. 3 burning beacon towers. 7 swordsmen. The leader. I don't know his name. They call him Al-Qaid.
7 swordsmen.
You need. Much appreciated.
Why do I feel like it's the same boss from? Yep, it's them.
Formation.
Yep.
They've slain countless.
So these were the bosses that were showcased in their Year of the Snake trailer that they had 6 months ago. I think it was January of this year.
Dark and hollow, just like their faces.
It was a pretty cool boss fight, I'll give it that.
The faceless part, is it caused by perfect transcension? Yes, it takes away your heart, leaving only a husk.
So what's up
They
with
put
him?
you to sleep. When you wake up, you're not human anymore. You mean you're...
But I'll say like you?
My face is evaporating, right? Never mind it. I poisoned myself. And death will claim me long before I transform into one of those things.
I don't know.
Let me
I'll say, I wouldn't be so sure about that. You seem like you still got a lot of strength in you, sir. You talking a lot. For a man that's supposed to be dying, you real spunky. What are we call accessories? I'm like, what are we equipping the other 2 slots? I need to see all the different weapons that are in here. Because I don't know if that's simply just, okay, these are the different weapons that he has, or if each one of those represents a weapon class. And from there, even further, there are more weapons that go inside of that. And stat. Oh shit! So he's out of the yellow bar. But he's still blocking a shit ton. It looks like he did a counter there. But what I have not seen him use is like a sword ability, if you will. Why is it empty? Well, it's filling up now. What the hell just happened there? Alright, he's pulling out the big boy.
That feeling here is more gives me a shit's.
I hope we eventually get a demo for this game at least before it comes out. I'm just curious.
Enough is enough. I've got to get rid of this hero figure for good.
do like the flowing blades like these. They're so cool. Also, I can do a ton of damage. They have the yellow bar too, which in this case I'm feeling is more of a stagger in the enemy's case.
She's holding back.
Potentially.
Under that sand breaking shot she surge.
Because even just for movements, yeah. So once it got low, he was able to, I guess I would say a break attack, but he basically kicked her back. But it doesn't seem like that's how it works for us, though.
For being pushed on for now.
Wait, what the hell? He left the boss fight? I guess. There's our checkpoints. I wonder if the boss fight gameplay for this is going to be different from the previous trailer. Actually, I think so, because I don't remember... Oh yeah, because he never had this weapon. This big-ass fucking ball. Boy, current fucking WWE. I don't remember him ever doing that grab in the previous trailer either. I wonder if they actually added more things to the fight, or if it was just a case of these weren't there before. Or rather, I mean, like, it was just a case where the bosses didn't do those abilities during the previous trailer. Because if you're curious about what I'm talking about, go back and just look for their Year of the Snake trailer. Or you can also find my previous video where I reacted to that one as well. And you'll see the combat but in this one versus that one is very different. And I could just, again, chalk up to playstyle between the player themselves and then AI. You will always have cases where AI will not throw out certain abilities at all in some playthrough versus others where it just keeps spamming it over and over again. Fucking soundtrack still slaps. Oh. Those threads remind me of the pests. What the fuck is that shit called from Elden Ring? I would just call it, oh yeah, I think it's called Pest Swarm or some shit. Reminds me of that.
Nothing can separate us. Not even.
Well, she wasn't here the last time. So him potentially not killing the boss prior now has it where the boss appears here. Who knows, maybe even if he had defeated her, it would still appear anyway. Damn, this music's fire. Imagine if you had stamina reliant or block reliant on stamina. You'd be fucked. The amount of attacks coming at you at a time, even if it was just between dodging and blocking, and you had to rely on having to use stamina for that, nah, it would not work. So very, very happy that we don't have to worry about that shit in here. Killer!
I will be waiting on the other side.
And he big mad now. Yeah, that fucking weapon does a lot of damage. That was a fucking whip sword shit again. Release date will be announced in 2025. Ooh. And that was it for the trailer. Come on now, you can't tell me that game doesn't look sick as hell. I swear, I feel like it's been such a long time since we've actually had like really good fast-paced hack and slash games. I would say at the very least we did have First Berserker Kazan recently, which for some they say it's more of a Souls-like due to the fact that the game does have a stamina meter, which is very reliant on for both dodging and blocking. But at the same time, First Berserker Kazan is a very, very fast-paced game. As long as you build yourself correctly and know how to effectively utilize your combos. So in a way, I'm probably more inclined to classify the First Berserker Kazan as a hack and slash rather than as a Souls-like, or I guess it could just be both, honestly. Why the fuck not? Now with Phantom Blade Zero in this trailer, we did get to see, like I said, a lot of gameplay, which really showcases how fun the combat looks. When it comes to dealing with multiple enemies at a time, it doesn't seem like it's that difficult to actually block. It doesn't matter where they're coming from. Because with some games, you're not able to actually block attacks that are coming from behind. But from what I saw in this trailer, it doesn't seem like that's an issue at all. And when it comes to the weapon system itself, it looks like we're actually able to equip up to 4 weapons at a time, while simultaneously utilizing 2 of those weapons during combat, which are then able to switch using either the left or right directional buttons to end up bringing the weapons that are in reserve. And now there's one thing that I still couldn't really figure out is when it comes to the resource in the game. From what we see, we have a yellow bar underneath our health, but I can't fully understand what that's being used for. It doesn't seem like it's tied to blocking or dodging, but if anything, it seems like it's tied to certain weapon abilities. But at the same time, the weapons themselves also have their own resource. If you look at the bottom right side of the screen, you can see that whenever each weapon is pulled up, they have a little resource with a number associated with it, and when certain abilities are done, those resources get consumed. So eventually we're probably gonna have to figure out how it is exactly that those resources are being built during combat, and then eventually we'll also figure out what the hell the yellow resource is being used for. Now for the weapon classes, we did see a good variety of weapons being utilized during combat, but during the brief moments where they had the menu open and we could see all the weapons that they had currently, with at the very least 7 different weapon classes at our disposal, ranging from things like dual blades, whip blades, your classic single sword style, the great sword, what looked to be more of a great katana because it doesn't seem as big as a great sword. It also looks like a pretty large katana overall, so it could potentially be in the realms of Anodachi. Then I'm sure you all remember the great axe, Looks like there's a bow also available in the game, and then of course the maul that we got later on from that boss. Now probably believes that there actually might be more weapon classes available in the game, because if there is, that's actually going to be pretty cool, because that was a lot more diversity when it comes to gameplay customization. And then for the world itself, from what it looks like, I want to say it's going to be very much a linear game, but at the same time I could kind of see that there were a lot more areas within the map itself. So maybe there's a chance it could be open world. I really doubt it. Most likely it's a case of in the map itself, we can kind of see all the different areas we can go to. However, we can probably fast travel to them based on the checkpoints. If it does end up being open world, I'd actually be very interested to see how well that ends up working. I feel like with games like these, they tend to shine a lot better with the more linear progression system. But hey, that's just my take on it. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that in the comments below. And finally, we had the boss fight in the game, which if you remember, I said we had already seen this exact same boss fight in a previous trailer that they had. However, they did have a lot of things that happened in this one that were not present in the previous one, which goes to show that when it comes to the boss fights in the game, there's actually a chance that depending on certain actions that you take, your playthrough could be a lot more different from someone else's. Because in the initial trailer that I saw for that boss fight, you pretty much only fought that boss. No one else showed up, didn't even know that was a thing. However, in this trailer, we ended up encountering the red raids prior, and then the player had the choice to actually leave the boss mid-fight and just keep progressing, which seems to be what triggered the fact that the red raid ended up appearing at the final boss fight later on, which in my opinion was pretty cool, but at the same time, most likely designed to make the fight even harder. So probably if you were to beat her prior, you won't have to worry about that later on. But with interactions like that, it makes me a lot more excited to see what other weird combinations will there be later on in the game. And by the end of the trailer, we finally got that reveal that we should be expecting a release date announcement by sometime in 2025. Once again, very strong chance that release date should actually be in 2026. I will be sad if it ends up being 2027. But that's pretty much everything that the trailer had to offer. If there's something that you saw in the trailer that you feel like I missed, by all means, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to see it for myself, and I know that a lot of other people would appreciate that information as well. But if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you love what we do when it comes to video game news and reviews, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you never miss when a new video drops. Alright y'all, that is it for me. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will catch you all later. Peace!